Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri. Our next guest is a young Palestinian visual artist whose journey from the ruins of Gaza to ultimately finding herself in Cape Town speaks to the power of art as both witness and resistance. In an exhibition titled Gaza Remains the Story, Mai Shaer gives life to the experiences of women and families in Gaza, reminding us of their resilience in the face of erasure, from forcefully fleeing her home to studying art here in South Africa. May's work is a testament to identity, solidarity, and survival through creativity. And I think it was more than fitting that she joins us this morning for a quick conversation about herself, the work that she's done, and her identity as being a woman of Palestine, of Gaza. And it's fitting because we just celebrated Women's Day here in South Africa. And yeah, we're still in that spirit, celebrating women, women that are doing incredible work, even in very, very difficult circumstances. And we're very thrilled this morning to have Mai Shaer join us. May, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media. Really, really appreciate you giving us the time this morning.
No, thank you for having me in this beautiful channel.
No, the pleasure is all ours. I think first and foremost, I would like to kickstart the conversation with a bit of, background and context and personal elements to your story. If you can, just give our audience, tell them about the moment that this genocide that's currently happening in Gaza at the moment uprooted your life. How did it feel to find yourself having to leave your home, finding yourself in Egypt, and then ultimately in Cape Town? And how much has your art been your solace, so to speak?
So, of course, there is no word can explain or describe what's happening now in Gaza or how it affect, but it affects in everyone, and the images that we see in social media and all these things, it's nothing comparing with truth or with the reality there. It's it's completely insane that everything become we are in 21st century and everything become like starvation, displacement, and it's not new, it's generation before that, and it's not from the 7th of October or after that. No, it's a long time ago and still happening. But the different now in it's everyone in the world can see and watch, and they just watch people who act, yeah, but we need to stop this genocide because your land completely destroyed, your people there starving, uh, and you suddenly find yourself have to leave your country, and you don't know if you will back again or not. So you have to be survival, and when
Mm,
you survival, you still living in survival guilt, and people there, like, you still think that why I'm here and they are there, and why I live like this and they don't have, they can't find even a bread to eat, and it becomes like much worse with the time.
mm, mm. And I can, just feel the sense of emotion as you speak. And as I was doing a bit of research about yourself and the work that you do, I think it was in one of the interviews where you mentioned that you've lived all of your life in Gaza, and
Yeah,
suddenly you don't have anything of a memory that shows that you've lived your whole life there in Gaza.
yeah,
How
exactly.
did that depth of loss shape your art and your messaging through the work that you do?
It's too hard to explain, and it's too hard even for me to say my story in my art, but I'm trying because the reality is too bad, and it can't I just can't describe how bad it is. And I'm trying. It's just about trying, everything about trying. So I'm trying to speak about my people. I'm trying to speak about my case, my country. It's it didn't describe everything, but at least I'm trying. And when you live your life in place and suddenly you find yourself in another place and you don't have anything except the photo and the videos you already take in the past, and you just stay. I don't know, it's something like I can't describe it. I can't even draw it. I can't do like, of course my art changed before
Mm,
and now, but before and after it's completely changed. But nothing in the world can describe the pain and the life that they live there, and what's the feeling that we live now when we saw our people live like this. And when I communicate with my people there and they say I can't even find a bread to eat, or I can't even sleep in a good place, and this boy says this suddenly everything changed, they miss their life. Rafah now it's completely occupied and completely destroyed. We lost our homes, our universities, schools. There's nothing left. So they still think that what should we do now? What should we do in this life? What's left for us? So and it's continued. It never stopped until now. It's now 2 years and nothing stopped, and they still live this massacre life.
mm. And I think that's the concerning part. Almost 2 years later, we're seeing things worsen in Gaza. I want to focus a bit on your art. As a Black South African, one of the things that I've always struggled with when it comes to how we express ourselves as a people in this country, considering and understanding the history that we have, is when it comes to art, there always seems to be a need to always reflect to apartheid, and
Yeah.
to reflect to how we as a people have always been subjugated and have been oppressed and enslaved in our own land, and we sometimes shied away from celebrating ourselves, celebrating our culture, celebrating our food, because the victimness of being black in South Africa was what
Yeah.
has always prevailed. How do you deal with that? Striking that balance between showing the true lived realities of Palestinians in your art, portraying the genocide, portraying the continued slaughter, essentially, and enslavement of the people of Palestine, but also trying to remind the world that the people of Palestine still have a rich history. They're still very colorful, vibrant people. They have beautiful art, they have beautiful music, they have beautiful landscapes and ways of expressing themselves. And they are not only defined by this genocide and by this occupation that we're seeing unfold at this moment and since 1948.
Okay, you know, we as I know, I read a little bit about the history of South Africa, and I saw there's a lot of common things happened between. I think it's the reality for all occupation countries, and we have a s- I think I feel like it's a mission for us, or it's our duty to speak about um, our case, because we have this voice and we have to use this voice to, how to say, not to protect but to speak about our case. It's something that it's a duty that we have to do. And as a Palestinian artist, I have to speak about my case and I have to speak about my country, because I want everyone around the world know about our story, because we are not just a numbers. We are a human, we have a dreams, we have a lives, we have people that we love, we deserve to live. So we have to speak about our culture, not just today but 100 years ago until now. We have to save our history. We have to keep people know what we live and what we have in our culture. We have a really beautiful history, and it's a long history. And now I'm not gonna say I'm happy that people know about Palestine in this, because it's in this way. It's just in genocide. I really wished one day people know Palestine how it is, like the beauty of Palestine, not a genocide of Palestine.
Mm,
But In both ways, I have to say and I have to speak about my case because it's my responsibility. It's my duty about my country because my people, again, they deserve to live.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
my power voice, it's art, and in my art I'm trying to just make people see. Okay, before this genocide I used to draw things like the beauty about this life and see how it's, even if it's low opportunities, it's still beauty and it's still, we deserve to live. But now after the genocide I have to speak about my people. They deserve to live in this genocide. So we have to
mm,
finish this genocide because people deserve to live. And how we will do that? We will never can do that without use our powerful tool. And my powerful tool, it's art. Speak the word. It make a huge difference. It make a huge change. So I will keep speak about my case, about my country, until Palestine will be free.
mm, No, most definitely. I want to talk about the exhibition. Your exhibition, Gaza Remains the Story. It draws a lot of parallels. As you mentioned, there's a lot of parallels and similarities between Palestine and South Africa. When you look at displacement and what also happened here in South Africa during some of the forced removals. What did it mean to you to be part of that kind of storytelling and this empathy bridge that we always try to draw between South Africa and Palestine? I think to make people understand the dark past that South Africa had or has, and how the whole world knows it and understands it to be a crime against humanity, and to show that the very same thing, the very same apartheid, the very same genocide, the very same occupation against an indigenous people, that the whole world agrees to this day that it is a crime against humanity. The very same thing is currently happening in Gaza, is currently happening in Palestine, and it deserves the same, if not more, of a reaction and attention as South Africa did.
So I'm completely proud that I'm a Palestinian. I'm really proud that I'm a Palestinian, and it's, I don't know, it's something crazy that the history the same. It's not completely the same, but it's the same process happened in every occupied country. So we all want to be together because this is the only way that we can survive. And when you say about the South Africa as a country, through their history and everything they lived, they know and they completely understand what's happening there. And this is, it's crazy that we are in 21st century and all of these happen in just, it's not just in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Lebanon, every occupied country. And it's like, I don't know. I completely proud to be one of the people who can speak loud and proud about Palestine and about all the occupied country, not just Palestine. I'm completely proud to be part of the people who can say a word about Palestine. And also, my art, I will be, for the end of my life, the last day of my life, I will stay speak about Palestine, and I will be part of the story of Palestine.
Mm. And you mentioned that it's 2 years now since October the 7th. As a Palestinian, looking from a distance, being here in South Africa, and I think right now there's nothing that one can do to escape Gaza and the genocide that's happening. You switch on your TV, it's on the news. You pick up your phone, it's on social media. Just seeing the images that are coming out of your country of birth, how do you feel just seeing
There
all of
is,
that unfold?
there is no word can explain how I feel. There is no word can explain how I feel. Like when you see these images and you just have to be a human to feel. And it's like you make, it's not just a one person, it's not just a two person, it's more than 60,000 person murdered now, and with a worst ways in the world. And they used a really, I don't know how to explain that, but it's a really bad feeling when you feel like you are upset, you're angry, you wanna scream, you wanna cry, you don't know how to do anything for them, and you just, I don't know. There's no word can explain. There's no word can explain any feeling that we feel when we see these pictures. Especially I live there and I know people there, and my people stay live the same situation. And it's not just I saw it in the news or on my TV. I speak with them, and we all, not always, when I can, when they can open internet, we speak, and we don't know what to say. We just, I can't even ask how are you because I know how are you. It's it's something too bad that you don't know how to speak with them. And when they can, they just communicate with you and say, we are fine, we are not dead yet. So
mm,
it's, there's no word can explain.
mm, mm. Where do you find solace? What comforts you even when things are as bad as they seem, even when it looks like we are probably at the worst point of this genocide, at the worst point in Palestinian history? This is a live stream genocide. People are killed in their thousands and thousands every week. Numbers are coming out. But you're not the first Palestinian I've spoken to. There's a few, that I speak to on almost a daily basis, and there seems to be an undying spirit about Palestinians. A comfort of some sort that they tap into, and I never quite understood. And it's a different answer for every Palestinian that I talk to. Just for you, what gives you comfort? What gives you a sense of things are going to be okay, even if we are probably at the darkest hour in Palestinian history at the moment?
Them, the Palestinians themselves. The Palestinians themselves, when, you know, it's too hard that you watch from outside and your people still there. And when you communicate with them, they will told you that everything will be okay. So you become like, you feel ashamed that you feel this upset, or
Mm,
you feel this bad, and they told you everything will be okay, everything will be better soon. So even if it's not, even if it's not bitter, but they still have these beautiful souls, this beautiful spirit that everything will be okay. So what else you can do? You have to be, you have to feel that everything will be okay because of them.
mm. And what is one thing that you'd like, not only South Africans, but the entire world to know and understand about this genocide? Because I think because of just how passionate we are, as people that understand the struggle of Palestinians or try to understand it, because I don't think at this point there's anyone in the world that can understand it truly, because of how bad things are. We tend to talk um about Palestinians without really hearing them. We talk over Palestinians because we're trying to shout, we're trying to bring attention to this genocide. I'd like to bring it a bit close, a bit back to a Palestinian. As someone from Gaza, someone who's lived there, who knows and understands the intricacies of this genocide better than any of us can, what would you like the world to know and understand about Gaza, about the true and lived realities of Palestinians at this current moment?
Okay, the Gazan people are great people. And Gaza itself, it was so pretty country. It was really beautiful country, and it's not just, you know, the world know Gaza as conflict place and as occupied country, besieged country, and all of this is right. I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but it's also a beautiful country, and they all used to live in peace together. And they are really, 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 really talented people, and there are a lot of educations people, and they all education. They all live with each other happily, and they all know them each other. So Gaza, it was a really, really beautiful country, and it was a really beautiful place to live, not just a conflict place or not just a kill place. No. So I want to say Gaza, all the people in Gaza, they are human, and they used to have a really beautiful life. Even the people who killed, murdered in Palestine, they used to have a really beautiful life, family. They have friends. They love to live. They not
Mm,
just born to die. No, they love to live. So I just wanna the world see people in Gaza like they are a human. They are not a heroes, like the media shows. No, they are not a
mm,
heroes, but they don't have any other choice.
mm,
So I really wanted the world to see them as a human and as a people who deserve to live. And that's it.
mm. And I think you touch on something that's very, very important, where the media, the people on social media, again, because of our passion and love for Palestine and Palestinians, we almost, mystified the people of Palestine. We turn them into these superhumans, because we are seeing in real time how they are enduring probably the worst of the worst when it comes to oppression, when it comes to occupation, and this starvation and siege that has been going on for such a long time. And I like the point that you're making, that these are not superhumans, these are not
Yeah,
superheroes.
they are strong. I, they are so strong people, and they are so creative people. They can live in the really bad situation, but when it become worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and more worse, it become like they don't have any other choice.
Mm,
So, and that's why people say they are heroes. They are not heroes, they are strong. Yeah, but they are not heroes. They die for the same reason that other human die, and
mm,
they live in a hard situation when any other one be forced to live this situation. But they are strong, they are with a really strong faith, and they are great people, but they are not heroes.
mm, because when we say they are heroes and they're superhuman, we almost take away the fact that they feel pain. We take away from
Exactly.
the fact that they feel hunger, and they
Exactly.
sometimes get depressed and they get sad because their children and everyone they know around them, their brothers and sisters and mothers, are getting killed, and they have to pull them out of the rubble. Just lastly, before I let you go, May, um, what are your dreams for Gaza? When you close your eyes and you visualize a Gaza that is not what we are seeing at this current moment, what are your dreams? What are your hopes for your country of birth?
I want to see Gaza the same image that I used to see it before this genocide. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. I just want to see Gaza live in peace and all Palestine be free. This is our dream from long time ago until now. We want to see Palestine free. And me as a Palestinian and as a Gazan person, I can't go to West Bank
Mm,
ever. I can't go there. So it was one of my dream to see my other part of the country. It's still my country, but I can't go to visit. So it's one of my dream to go there and see the other part of my country. But now, even Gaza itself, I can't be there. So my dream, Gaza and all Palestine be free, and I want to see Gaza in the same image that I used to see it before this genocide.
mm. And it's a dream that we hope it gets realized in our lifetime, and a dream that will advocate, as South Africans, that you see in our lifetime, because Palestine will be free. I think that we're very unequivocal about that, and we'll do whatever it takes as South Africans, as people that believe in human rights, in freedom, in equality, that that dream is realized. May, thank you so much
Yeah,
for chatting to us. It was really a pleasure. I really enjoy interactions with Palestinians because we can always speculate about what you guys are thinking and what you guys are feeling, but these kind of reactions are so beautiful because it gives a perspective of a Palestinian, and one that I think needs to be told, instead of the headlines, instead of us speculating what you guys are feeling, what your dreams and hopes are, but you telling us in real time. So I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for giving us your time.
no, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to speak about my Palestine.
No, definitely. That was Mai Shaer. She's a Palestinian visual artist, and she's, I think, one of the powerful young voices from Gaza at the moment. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's always refreshing and very, very motivating to listen to young Palestinians, young Gazans, who have such a passion for their country. And it doesn't matter the distance, how far away they are from their country of birth. They still passionate about telling the stories of their people. They are passionate about giving us not just a Gaza that I think we've all accustomed to it being at this current moment, which is a place of devastation, which is a place of, I think, pain. But another side of Gaza, which I think is important also to remember, that these are people with a beautiful culture. These are people with a diverse and colorful way of expression. And they shouldn't be relegated to victims of this genocide. I think we'll be giving the oppressor so much power if we relegate the people of Palestine, if we relegate the people of Palestine to victims. They're not. They've proven it time and time and time again that they're powerful, resilient people. But that doesn't define them. This genocide doesn't define them. They are more than that, as is every human being on this earth. We are not. Or should not be relegated to our circumstances. As Black South Africans, I think we can all agree, as South Africans of color, that we are more than just victims of apartheid. There's more to us than um, the whatever many years of oppression and subjugation that we faced. We are still a people of great influence, culture, and we have so much more to give to the world. And yeah, that's why I enjoyed this conversation so much. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of today's edition of News and Views. Thank you so much for staying with us. It has been another impactful, educational one. We'll be back with you again for the Wednesday edition of the show. And we're going to be leaving you with a nice little soundbite, a clip. This is from Adil Bradlow, who's a freelance photojournalist based in Berlin. Again, the focus being on on journalists that have become a target of this genocide. And yeah, I think take a listen. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning from 9, from 8 until 10. When I'm saying from 9, I'm cutting my hours in shift. My bosses won't be happy. But from 8 until 10, and yeah, we'll have another day, another morning filled with these kind of conversations where we unpack, where we dissect the world around us, and we focus on Palestine specifically, because as much as there's so much happening in the world right now, the house that is burning right now at this moment, the house that deserves attention, is the house of the Palestinians. And as South Africans, we have a responsibility to give light and attention to that house until something is done about it. So from myself, Salalo Makudire, and the rest of the team, it's goodbye for now. Shap shap.